Let's talk about a spooky book. Hey everyone, my name's Ercy and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about Nocturne, a collection of dark tales by H.B. Diaz. But before we begin, I would like to ask you guys to please like this video and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I try to put out videos 2 times a week at my best. With that out of the way, let's just get on to the video. Why did I pick up this book? So this book was first put on my radar by Steve over on Steve Talks About Books and Stuff. He was talking about one of the stories in this collection called The Pocket Watch. And so that's what put it on my radar, his review of that story. And I just thought it sounded really interesting, really dark and spooky. So I wanted to give it a go. And then not too long after that, Raul over on Raul Reads tagged me in a post from the author on, I believe, Instagram, where she asked for reviewers to reach out to her if they wanted to review this collection. And so I did. And she sent me a PDF copy of the book. So what wound up happening was I read the collection. I really, really enjoyed it. And I bought my own copy of the book. So take that for what it is. I really did enjoy this book, and it is very, very spooky. So there are 12 stories in this collection, and it took me about 6 days to read this. I would read like 2 a day and just take it in. I would think about the story and dwell on the creepiness of it all, right? And I really enjoyed myself with this book, and I had a really good time. This book is perfect for spooky season, but of course you can read it all year round. And if it's a book that you want to pick up for this time of year, currently the author has it on sale, I believe, on Amazon for $6 or $7. That's how much I paid for this book. I'll leave a link to the book in the description box of this video as well. But what is the book about? So like I said, it's a collection of dark stories. They're all spooky. They range from stories about insane asylums, ghosts, monsters, creepy crawlies, murders, right? But I wanted to talk about the themes. The main 3 themes that I felt were prevalent throughout the whole collection were grief, revenge, and regret. And I felt like regret was the biggest one. But before I start gushing too much about the book itself, let's first talk about the genre classifications that I would place this book in. The first, of course, being a short story collection. I feel like short story collections are very underrepresented on BookTube, and I feel like more people should be reading them because it is an art form. To be able to convey this idea or this message in such a small amount of space takes a lot of talent. I know if I was to write a book, I am so long-winded and it takes me so long to get an idea out. And if I were to write a book, it'd be one of those really big, fat, chunky books because it takes me forever to get something going. But to be able to put a very grand idea that makes you ponder and think for a while after you've read it, really, it's an art form. Like I said, it's a true talent, and this is exactly what Diaz was able to do with this collection. Another classification I would put this under would be, as gothic horror. The main idea with gothic books, or something that truly defines a book as gothic, would have to be the atmosphere that it creates. We have these eerie environments that our characters are placed in, mysterious. It develops the tension that you want in these stories. And of course, horror, because all of the themes in this book are horrifying. They're a little scary or a little spooky. And that's exactly what you're going to get with this book. This is why it's perfect for this time of year. Because of how creepy and scary they were, I had to take my time, because just the thoughts of whatever it was that was going on in the story would keep me thinking and dwelling on it, and I was just creeped out, but in a good way. I was enjoying myself, but I was very much creeped out, especially with one of the stories in here. I'll talk about it in a second. Let's talk about what I liked about this collection. Again, the effectiveness of how Diaz was able to convey these ideas in these stories, I felt was superb. It was so good. I felt like the atmosphere that she was able to develop in these stories as well is another thing that I felt like was very well done. Just even the characters walking into certain houses or environments or wherever it is that they're placed, like I saw it and I felt it. I felt the cold air. I felt the chills. I felt the creaking of the floorboards. Like I felt like I was there, and I had to remind myself to breathe as I was reading it because of how eerie it was making me feel as I was reading these things. And it was really, it was just so good. It was so good. The use of metaphors was really important in this collection. Her use of the metaphor was used to enhance the environment that we're trying to picture here. Because obviously, you know, with things that are like imaginary or otherworldly, you need things from the real world to help envision what it is that you're trying to get. So Diaz was able to do that with her use of metaphors, and I thought they were just brilliant. I thought they were so good. My favorite story of this collection has to be The Parasite. It is a paragraph long, and I cannot stop thinking about this story. Whenever I read, I write notes. And I literally wrote after I read this, oh my God, what the F? This is horrifying. The lingering feeling, I'm horrified. I cannot read The Parasite. I can't. It's so good. It's so good, but so horrifying. Just the thought of this being a thing, just think like zombie ants, but with people. Just take that into, just think about it. I can't. The other one that I really loved was The Ruins. Oh my God. I felt like this one was equal parts horrifying and scary. Not just about the creature that is talked about in the story, but humanity. Oh my God. I can't. I cannot. Like, I love that story, but it was so messed up. I loved it. I loved it so much. The Ruins. It was so good. I can't. Please read it. Oh my God. Those two were the ones that like stuck out the most for me, but some other ones that were really, really good. The Patient in Room 96, Insomnia, The Malady of Mrs. Monroe. Yo, trippy, crazy, creepy. I'm gushing too much. I'm too excited. This is a really great book. So all in all, with things that I loved about this collection is just the atmosphere, the creep factor, some of these stories where I can't stop thinking about them, and I feel like that is what you need with every short story collection. But with every short story collection, you're not going to like all of them. Some of the stories left more of an impression on me than some others, and I had to remind myself what some of those other ones were. Like, especially the ones towards the end of the collection, I felt didn't really make as much of an impact as some of the ones from the beginning of the collection. Like, I want to end the book with a bang, and it was just like, okay, like this is good, but it wasn't as punchy as like The Parasite. Not that she wasn't effective in delivering the message that she was able to do. I believe the themes of the stories weren't as, in my opinion, as memorable as some of the ones in the beginning of the collection. But the whole collection in general is great. It's amazing. It's just I had to remind myself what those stories were about. But let's talk about my reading. So I wound up rating this book 4 out of 5. I really, really enjoyed it. I mean, I had a free PDF copy of the book, and I wound up buying my own copy anyways. It was that good. I want to reread some of these stories. Whenever I feel like I want to be in that mood again, like that creepy, uncomfortable mood, I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to read some of the stories. I might share some of these stories like with my husband, like read it while we have, after we put the kids to sleep with the fire going. It's real dark and late at night, and we're going to read some of these and we're going to be creeped out. Like I really enjoyed it. Who would I recommend this book for? I would recommend this book for people who are just starting out in horror like myself. I do read horror here and there, just not as much as some other people do. And I'm trying to change that. And this was a great segue into that because some of the stories in here were uncomfortable and creepy, but man, were they a joy to read. I feel like you're more focused on the environment and the way that it makes you feel rather than the events that are occurring within the stories, even though the events are equal parts horrifying too. But I definitely do think that anyone would really enjoy this if you're into horror and gothic books. I really enjoyed this. So that's it. That's my review. Those are my thoughts on Nocturne, a collection of dark tales. Let me know if you've read this book. I would love to discuss some of these stories with you, especially the parasite. I can't stop thinking about the parasite. I can't stop thinking about the parasite. Okay. Let me know if you've read it. Let me know if you want to read it. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section of this video. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it and subscribe if you want to see more. I hope you all have an amazing day and I'll talk to you all soon.